Zero Foxtrot Golf, FM, Police Fraud Radio.
Moving on. Moving on.
Cage back in the building.
Castle back on patrol. Let me mute my phone as that text message just came in.
Right on time.
Ironically, as soon as we start, it's a text about early calls. Stand by.
Oh.
Units Castle and Cage, proceed with handwritten notes.
Message sent and delivered. We're good. It's been a while.
A long while.
Probably been 3 weeks since we've recorded anything. So I don't have this kind of prepared at all because we've been very busy.
Social distancing.
With the coronas.
The corona.
With the coronas.
The corona.
Social distancing.
Wow. As a reminder, we've told you in episodes past, when we record these things, we edit them up to give you just the meat off of the bone, no fat. I'll just go ahead and play you a few clips just to get the episode going. Just put a smile on your face right from the start. Open your ears and absorb some of my mumbles. Here we go. There's more. Here we go. Again. Yes. I have isolated some of my mumbles.
Oh, man.
So we don't stop. Stand by. I hadn't. I mean, what? I wish I had reference to what the heck I was really trying to do. Let's move on to number 4, shall we? You know, we can't. And then, you know, I mean,
Oh, you didn't even tell me this was coming, man.
I didn't know it was coming.
Oh, dude, that is hilarious.
Well, hold on. We have a number 5. But no, I seriously.
I can't breathe.
One more. It was on when I was for Oh my.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's not a better way to start this off.
If I could just have a button to push whenever I'm in a conversation with somebody, just use your voice. That would be awesome. You just. I mean, like for me, see, I probably just did it right there. My problem is like trying to enunciate, you know, pronounce words. And it's just like sometimes I can't get it out and I have to open my mouth wider just to say something stupid.
I do have some that we have isolated that I don't think we've played yet. Again, I know it's been a while since we've recorded. However, here's one.
I'm such a dork.
Hold on. This is where that came from. Stand by. The guy from Terminator 2.
T-800? Arnold?
No. He was like molten metal.
Oh, T-1000.
T-1000.
I'm such a dork. Yeah, I'm a dork.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I'm crying on the inside. Oh, man.
The virus.
So the world has been invaded with the coronas.
The corona.
The coronas virus.
Quarantine.
Yes, sir.
As we are playing, as everybody else in the world has also, we've all watched The Tiger King. We have that streaming. Joe Exotic is tipping his cap at the time.
Joe Exotic. Man, if you owned a share of Netflix right now, you'd be...
Well, it's broke the internet, so yeah, it's good.
It is the internet. It's technology. It's entertainment.
Well, it's very simple, sir.
You know how much money you would make?
A lot.
Millions.
And millions of Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
But guess what, man? 3 years, toilet paper be the new currency.
Right up and down the crack.
Yep. Wow. Ooh, we're rusty.
So, since we have already jumped into the coronas.
The virus.
It's a serious matter, especially depending on where you live. We just want to say, hey, you know, wash your hands.
Hand sanitizer.
Like Samuel Jackson said, stay the at home. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Stay at home.
Stay the at home. Woo.
Zero Foxtrot Golf, FM, Police Fraud Radio.
Poll results. Where do I start?
I think this is going back to either episode, I think 11, so this should either be 12 or 13.
Yeah, we kind of left the people hanging there. They vote, and then we don't tell them nothing.
So, yes, we do love to look at the poll results.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Brings joy to my heart.
All right, so the question asks, are you David Charles?
That came from episode 11, where the Colonel is in the city.
The Colonel in the city. All right. Are you David Charles? I am. 11% of you said I'm David Charles. And 88% of you said I ain't even close to being David Charles.
That's wonderful.
Remind the people. Well, what makes you David Charles?
You're gonna get tased.
Oh, yeah.
Or
I'm not oodle looping this all night long.
I ain't David Charles at all.
The bottom line is, look, I'm a peaceful person.
if you would like more of David Charles, revert back to episode 1. But for some reason in that episode, we decided to ask, are you David Charles? And the results were astoundingly no.
All right, moving on to episode 10. All right, so calls out.
This is episode 12, the wizard story.
Oh, okay, I can't read. Calls out. Any geographically far away. Always geographically far away. See, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm struggling with my own phone. Every freaking time. 90% of you said every freaking time is always somewhere far freaking away from your bed.
Since that episode, that has reigned true for me personally. We keep talking about that. I have the early calls and go out early in the mornings for things. Minus this morning, which hopefully we'll get into that later. But this morning,
I did say freaking earlier, right? I didn't.
All good there. And in Castle's life with the early calls, yes, 99.9% of that has been true, that it's as far away as possible at all times. What was the exact numbers on that?
90% of the listeners said every time it's far away. And 10% of them said stop complaining. That's probably your supervisor.
Yeah, whoever that is. I know you got stripes. Listen, we're not counting that one.
Yeah, stop complaining.
Yeah, it's 99%.
But yeah, so today, speaking of calls, you text me, you were like, 6 calls, 4 reports. I'm 1017, rec number 5.
Yeah.
And I love my response to you was like, did Jocko get after it?
Yeah.
Because I was off like, get after it.
We got just sledgehammered in the jaw.
Man, look, every time I complain to you about wrecks and just being out there crawling under cars, like, they're falling on me. The wrecks are falling on me. You're always at the beach and you'll send me like a live photo of the wave.
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead and tell the audience what you did to me. Go ahead.
I sent you the picture of the beach that you were at. A live photo, like, it's so nice. It's so beautiful. Mind you, I was at home just looking out the window and I was drinking like warm tea. You know, the commercial where the woman has both hands on the mug and just sipping it. That was me.
Did you have a robe and your glasses on?
I had a nice quilt wrapped around me like, oh man, it looks so damp out there. I hear a siren. I bet that's Castle.
It was wet.
Okay, so episode 13. Have you ever...
That was when Cage poo-poos the judge's court order apology. Listen, personally, nobody knows the story. There was a massive failure in that episode that nobody knows about. And listen, we survived. We survived a flood of Noah's Ark proportions.
Oh, man.
And we're still here.
That one was different.
Yeah, but what question do we... Yes.
Yeah, we're here. We're still here, folks.
You can't get rid of us. Not that easy.
I remember that one. That one was rough. I think we almost just shut it down, like pulled the plug.
Rough experience there.
Have you ever been blown a kiss in court? 8% of the listeners said yep. That is
80 or 8?
8%. I got to meet these people.
Well, that was me.
Oh.
I guess I'm the one guy who clicked yes.
Yeah, and 91% said nope.
Okay, so I'm the only guy there. Great.
Yeah, and then some people said, what's court?
Really?
No.
Oh. We're talking about so many things that the audience has no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're confusing you, sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Watch Judge Judy or Judge Joe Brown or something like that. It's nothing like that. More entertaining on TV.
Hey, listen, go and give episode 13 another listen.
Look at my man over here plugging and going away.
But however, the chaos that was not released in that episode,
I think that audio footage has been destroyed.
It has been.
Never to be spoken of again. But basically, let's see, court. How can I add in I get handshakes in court a lot. Do you get handshakes?
No.
From the people that you charge?
No.
Are you serious?
No.
Hand sanitizer.
The only time I confront anyone is jury trials. I usually try to greet the jurors after.
Oh,
Whether it works out for or against the case we're presenting, but that's the only time I'm really doing any of that stuff.
do you do like a basketball player running into the locker room and you got your hand up, high fiving people? Is that how you, when you get off the witness stand, you just high five the jury?
The virus.
Oh my God, no, you fool.
I thought it was pretty funny.
No.
Oh, I just did that.
Just to open the cell door again, the booing effect that we've used once or several times. Have you ever heard of the New York Jets butt fumble game? Look up the butt fumble New York Jets.
Okay.
That booing
All right.
is coming from that game.
Oh,
at
wow.
halftime. If we ever let it play long enough, you're going to hear somebody in there begging for Tebow to come out.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
That's what that boo is, yes.
Okay.
We do have permission to use that.
I was going to ask about the butt fumble, but I don't think I want to know. I'm probably like the one guy who doesn't know.
Moving on.
Moving on. Ooh. Moving on. Moving on. Yeah, I do shake hands in court.
I'm glad for you.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know where to go with that. You know, it's just,
Was that part of the question?
no.
Okay, nice.
Thought that was just honorable of me.
Listen, I'm proud of you.
On your way to prison, shake your hand on the way out. Hey, man, good luck in there. Don't drop the soap.
Social distancing.
Wow.
Episode 14, Cage's new jab. Oh, I remember this. I think I gave these results. Yeah.
It was the Golden Nuggets on the interstate. And listen, this whole Jesus situation has spun out of control.
Has it really?
This morning, yeah, we'll get into that. Go ahead.
People voted that I should, where am I going with this? Oh, my new jab. What am I doing? Do I go for the Ric Flair chop, the Bruce Lee chop, or just the taser? And I said I didn't want to hurt you when I, throw these jabs at you. So
Okay.
luckily 0% of the listeners said no to the taser.
Okay, no tasers.
All right. So the Bruce Lee slap, 57% said Bruce Lee slap. What the? Which I said I like to do like a Ric Flair chop. 42% of the listeners voted for that. And basically what it is, man, when I do a little jab, is like, I ain't trying to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I just want to just stomp around the ring a little bit, do a little Ric Flair chop. Woo!
The audience has spoken. What is the result? The Bruce Lee slap or the
57% said Bruce Lee.
If you would like to strut around the ring in a golden robe and give a little woo-hoo, then please feel free.
I think that I probably just do them fast and silent. You don't see them coming.
Very good.
All right, so episode 16, moving on. Clip it. Oh, the tie. Clip it or tie it.
Okay, yeah, this was the latest episode 16. We're probably going to have 17, maybe 18 out before you guys even hear this. So the results of the Clip It, the half Windsor or full Windsor.
66% said double Windsor. I am the man. And second place, 22% said he's a clip-on because they're lazy. 11% said half Windsor and I'm half awake. That was 11% on that, by the way. Growing up, I'd use the half Windsor. That was all I knew until I reached, my manhood stage where I was like trying to be fancy. So I'm more of a double Windsor now, thanks to YouTube.
As we speak tactically, of course, we wear clip-on ties.
Yeah.
The Tacticarl is going to get activated because we're going to talk tactical ties really quick.
That's right.
There is a tactical tie, which is a full Windsor knot. You look it up on Amazon, and it basically Velcros around your neck. There's the Velcro patches in the back where you can pull it around. It looks like an actually full Windsor tied knot with a Velcro. So you can actually wear that tie and look like a man should in a suit and a tie with a full Windsor knot.
You know what's funny? I was like, is he talking to me?
No, just this is a public information release to help the men that listen to us, or women if you wear a tie, to just look better in a tie. And I kind of wish our department, the organization that we work for, would go with something like that, because I really like that full look around the neck. It's just a Velcro patch that secures itself on the back side of the neck and goes under the collar and it wraps around all the way the whole entire neck to make it look like a full tie. I really like the way that looks. Tactical ties with a Velcro patch on the back that if somebody tries to grab you and choke you, like our clip-on tie would just release, the Velcro patch will release.
Send that up and see what happens. That's pretty much what's going to happen with all your suggestions.
Would you stop? At Castle and Cage's tactical tie collection. That's what we need to start. Okay, so if there's any investors who want to give us all the money to start with that and then take no profits, we'll take all the profits and we'll take all the glory for that.
We'll just take everything. Put it all in my trunk. So basically, you want somebody, when they go to grab your tie, you can go, ha-ha, it's a clip-on.
Yeah, they lose balance and I win.
Units Castle and Cage, proceed with handwritten notes.
Since we've been recording this, when things happen like the tie, or like in some of the past episodes, the 1026, does it not seem to you like, since we've been actually talking this stuff out loud, recording it and releasing it, for the purposes that we are, to entertain our fans, the people who are subscribed to us, that these things are now more prevalent in your head as to where when you just knew they were part of what we did or things that happened to us before, but don't they just pop out? You know what I mean? These things stick out more prevalent than they ever have. Is that happening to you?
It is. Especially with the shirt stays. I think about them a lot more.
Shirt stays, 1026s is a huge one. Now the tie won't leave me alone. So we just talked about the tactical tie, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. What attracted me to this was Lex Friedman. He's a scientist, but he also plays guitar. I play guitar. I saw that he did a rendition of Joe Rogan's intro music.
Right.
They were talking about choking out people with ties. I mean,
What?
wow. Yeah. What a spin that was. I'm like, wow, these ties won't leave me alone. Listen, they've tied me down and they're choking me with it.
Choking people out at, so we're at the bank. The guy in front of me was taking too long on his deposit. Yeah.
If you know anything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in BJJ, there's a lot of gi chokes.
Oh, yeah.
One of my old instructors used to teach like rat neck chokes where you weave your thumb through the gi and wrap it around. And there's several different kinds of chokes you can perform on a t-shirt or with a tie.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of talking about that. And Lex was like, well, there isn't more of a defense. We just need to practice and develop techniques for this. However, Joe started talking about a dog he used to have. Okay. And it was a dog that became hyper aggressive toward other animals and it attacked his cat.
Okay.
If you serve a lot of papers and knock on a lot of doors in whatever kind of capacity you serve in law enforcement, listen very closely to what we're going to say.
Right.
None of us ever want to fire a round off and harm anything.
Right.
Human or animal. That's to be the last absolute resort, firing your weapon at anything, ever.
Yeah, last line of defense.
It's the last thing I want to do. Tasing an animal, this is something I don't want to do. It's that's easier to accept.
Yeah.
The pepper spray, again, something you don't want to do, that's easier to accept.
You sound like you work for the post office. And I'm listening.
Well, I mean, I've grown to care a lot more about animals and people over the years, even though they treat us progressively worse, it seems like.
Exactly.
What Joe was talking about here, and something I never thought about, was a dog collar. I know there's a lot of people who serve papers in law enforcement. And again, this is actually a serious part, so listen up close. We're actually talking for once about something serious.
Whoa! I mean, whoa, whoa, whoa!
So basically, you want me to shut up? Yeah.
When Joe's dog attacked the cat, he basically grabbed it by the collar, fingers into the collar, and just kind of twisted it like a door handle, put the dog right out.
Nice.
If you're ever attacked by a dog in the law enforcement profession where you have to knock on a door and here comes a dog, because that happens to a lot of people who serve papers a lot.
Yeah.
As a last resort, if you're being attacked and you can get a hold of that collar, wrap your fingers in there and crank it down, and hopefully you knock the dog out. Just put it unconscious, just like a blood choke of the neck, where you're just putting somebody unconscious.
I like how you just said that. Like, just do this. This is step number 2.
What if one person hears that and it helps them from not lose their arm?
Well, guess what, man? If you're ever swimming and a shark's coming at you, punch it in the snout.
Has there ever been video footage of that? Oh, my.
Exactly.
Smack my mama.
Man,
Have you ever trained like with a canine unit? The bite sleeve, have you ever put it on, let them
Oh, God, hell no.
I've done it several times.
Oh, have you?
Dude.
I never knew that.
Dude, you know how fast a dog comes?
I've seen them attack people.
Man, I'm telling you. I've done it at least 10 times.
Really?
They come fast. Wait, edit that out. That's all, folks. They come at you fast. Like
nice.
They run at you fast. They know they're gonna jump and bite. They wince a little bit right before they go to grab the sleeve.
Are they flexing or just?
It's the weirdest thing. The one dog that I did train with this one time, right before he jump up and bite my arm, he let out a yelp. He'd go, and then man, he'd clench down, and man, he would just drag you all over the place.
That's super interesting. I know that they're trained to perform all these tasks, and usually they're rewarded with a treat or a toy or whatever.
It's a game to them.
Is it maybe that, or was it just that individual dog? Or
I don't know. It was weird. It's nothing you can do when that dog's like running at you. You can't go, I'm just gonna go to the left. I'm gonna go to the right.
There's no escape.
Yeah, or I'm just gonna punch it in the gut or something like that. No, dude, it's happening, and your brain is trying to process. Hey, this animal's running at me, and I see teeth.
Well, I've gained a lot of respect for you because
Really?
I'm a massive amount of respect because I am not putting on a sleeve of any kind and letting any animal bite me.
I've got a video of.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen of the Handwritten Notes podcast world, Cage ain't scared of you.
Deputy Savage. Oh yeah.
Caution, who let the dogs out?
The best dog bite I ever saw. A guy had jump and run from us and was hiding down in a creek. I was right behind the canine handler. He had like this super long leash. The dog would kind of weave its way through the brush, and with the training that they do, he knew that the dog had seen the guy. I saw this dog just jump into the earth. I didn't know it was a creek bed at the time, but I saw the dog disappear, leaped into the earth, and then I just heard and I heard the guy going, ah, ah, ah. And the canine officer walked to the top of the ledge over the creek, and he just stood up there, and he's a country boy. He's like, if you stop moving, he'll stop biting you. I'm like, oh my God. I was stressed out by just watching that. I was like, he's eating that guy up.
Attention all units.
Like Samuel Jackson said, stay the at home. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Stay at home.
Stay the at home. Woo.
Units, Castle and Cage, off duty.